Well, hey Libra, how about a reading from your Metal Dog Tarot channel today? I haven't been here for a minute, but I'm working through the cardinal signs today and you are up. So let's see what you have in store for us. Libra. I'm just going to jump into what is a 4-card spread of release, embrace what the cards want you to know, something hidden from you currently, and then the possible future outcome here. I'm going to start with the Light Seers Tarot, and we'll just do it. So here you are, air sign, Queen of Swords. There's something that you need to release. Perhaps it has to do with you're releasing here. She is the releaser, right? She knows how to cut ties with those who are no longer serving her. And she does this with clarity. So perhaps this is something that you've been doing and you're moving on from that. Or perhaps we'll find out more about what the Queen of Swords is releasing here. You are to embrace Page of Wands. That looks like fun, kind of moving from a very serious mode to a very joyful, summery, youthful, dancing. I mean, the Page of Wands, let me be honest, in my queer adaptation of the tarot, the Page of Wands is the card of being big, flaming queer. It's often about dressing in a certain way and foreignness. It's definitely about passion and willpower. And sometimes our passions can be contrary to social norms. It doesn't need to be about that. It's just in some creative work that I'm doing. That's what that card means. I share that with you. Take or leave it as you will. You have a hidden influence here, the Empress. So this is what the cards want you to know. This may be something that you are already aware of, but this is clearly your planet. It's a very moon-planet relationship. So there could be something around a full moon here. The ocean is involved. She is the Empress of Earth. She is nurturing, very feminine aspect. Doesn't matter if you're male or female or non-binary, but there's a quality of receptivity about the feminine in tarot. And I'm really seeing here more than I normally do that there's these dots. There's this energy coming down from the moon, and I think this is telling us it affects the tides, and that the relationship between the moon and Earth is one that we actually experience in our own bodies. So she's a very connected Empress. So there may be some kind of tidal power, astral energy coming, and in astrology, the constellations and the other planets in the traditional astrology that I study comes through the moon and then it pours into our bodies, literally like an influence of liquid. And air in the science of the 16th century that I study is not dry, it is moist, it is liquid, and it is obviously not as liquid as water, but it's very humid, and so it can pour into you through moonlight. So I see a very watery form of air here in the Empress, and the influence of the moon here. The cards want you to think about the moon somehow. Perhaps you made a wish on the new moon and it's coming in on some full moon here soon. We have in the near future a 10 of Swords. This is a heartbreak. It is walking away from it to a new beginning. But, tarot reader that I am, I have to be honest. This is painful. It's a painful ending. She's alone with her thoughts. Birds representing air and the thoughts. And you, Libra, are the sign of air. But the Ten of Swords is also, I understand, there's a new day dawning. Something is ended, though. So you know what that is. And so if we think about you're releasing, it would appear to me that you have something to do with this ending, or this Queen of Swords is what you are releasing, another person, not you, so that you can feel liberated here. And the role of the Empress, I definitely am interested to clarify that further here in this story. So let's go ahead and grab another deck here. I'm going to use Klimt's deck. Beautiful deck. I feel like when I do a Libra reading, I want it to be aesthetically pleasing, but also about social justice. And that's why I chose Light Seers. Although the only card here that speaks to me of that at the moment is the Empress. She's definitely calling you to become conscious of your planet and of your place in the universe here, which may provide you comfort as you walk out of this very painful situation. Okay, so let's clarify the Queen of Swords. Your release. What's the story here with that? I feel like I have incredibly wild hair, and then I see that lion there, and that's my Leo moon, who's so vain about my hair. I need a haircut. Okay. A part of this is the Queen of Cups. This is the very emotional, receptive, open-hearted queen of the deck. She's mature emotionally, but she's also a good communicator about her feelings. Queen of Swords is different in that she's much of the mind. So what this tells me as a story of release is to move out of your head and into your heart, right? And this is where this passion of your embrace can become generated. Oh, pulling from the wrong. There's the Ten of Swords on the bottom of this deck. So this release appears to me to be related to the future Ten of Swords here. We also have a King of Wands. Oh, we have people. A queen, two queens, and a king. That could mean that there's 3 people involved in this release here. The King of Wands, which I like to point out is a very queeny King of Wands, is in a fabulous dress. But this is the king that is decisive, has willpower, makes things happen, that kind of alpha energy with this very feminine, watery Queen of Cups here. Somebody's having clarity on this. And then we have a 5 of Wands. Some chaos and confusion in your past. It appears to me that you've had 2 people or 2 options here. And you've had to decide who to keep and who to let go. But it's definitely put you into a little bit of, she seems tied up in knots to me here. 5 of Wands is it's very much, there's no leader, there's some chaos, competition. It can be fun, but for most it's an uncomfortable place, and this card makes it look uncomfortable. So it looks like this is what I would definitely want to move on from this and feel like this instead, right? So her body is in such a different posture from, actually we'll put them, so this, to move away from that. into this liberation of the Page of Wands, who's very youthful. That's the other thing about the past. They're all queens and kings. They're mature. They feel wise. And the Page of Wands is a very youthful, passionate energy. So let's find out more about her. This Page of Wands for you. There is a feeling of being trapped. It's in your mind, the Eight of Swords here. This is a perspective that you certainly can liberate yourself from. That's a part of the Eight of Swords for me is I feel trapped, but in fact, if I look at reality, I'm not. Lots of being tied up in knots in these cards here. In addition, we have strength. This is you rising to your higher self. It's a card of Leo. It's fiery, just like the Page of Wands. Removing that mask here. But it looks actually like she's putting this other face into a bag. The Strength card is about repressing or having the willpower to overcome and rise above your base low vibe animal nature. No insult to animals, but it's very often a lion that a woman is putting her hands into the lion, which shows that the lion has controlled its desire to bite that woman's hand and to eat her up. So that's a part of what you're embracing is in order to get free from this being tied up in a knot in this Eight of Swords, you are resorting to willpower to rise above, to be your best self. And this involves a decision. I feel like the decision is Two of Swords. It's a struggle, right? It's very physical. It's almost erotic when I look at it in this deck. It's a movement between I feel trapped, but I'm brave enough to get free, right? So this looks easy, but the underlying cards that we're clarifying with show that you are in a struggle to achieve this youthful sense of freedom. And that's okay. This says embrace this. This is a part of the process. It's normal. Yeah. That's what I think, like, there's a lot going on under the surface of you that's really uncomfortable. But that the cards are assuring you that's just normal. That's whatever this change you're going through, that it's ending in this walking towards a new day in the Ten of Swords, like, it hurts. It's got you up here. There's a heart in it. There's passion in it. There's a clarity that you come to. You have the resource of strength to get free from the struggle, but it's very normal. So, and it's actually just telling you, embrace the fact that you're going to go through this process right now. So let's see. Who's this Empress? Is this a person that you don't know about or someone new? Is it you? Is it a state of being that you might achieve? Is it a way of engaging with the world or of noticing you are a part of? Sometimes we can feel very isolated. I think this Queen of Swords is such a lone figure. Very often we talk about how she removes people from her life. So I always think of her as lonely. And this is a lone energy as well, but it feels more connected to, see, that circle is making me think of the sort of astral connections that are suggested here in this image. Let's see. I just saw the world on the bottom, representing endings and beginnings. That seems very clear that you're going through a major change, Libra. What do we get? There's your Ten of Swords. If you're not already aware of this, it is in your future. It's an interesting one. The Lovers. So perhaps there's an ending that brings in it this Empress, this soul connection for you. You big queer? No, I'm just kidding. I just say that because it says embrace this. I don't know. I can't be anyone but myself, and I'm a big queer. So, like, the Lovers. Okay, the Empress, and this is this person who is your perfect match, with whom you are your best self, your true self. And it's also a card about a choice. And I love this newish tarot reader, Sassy Scorpion, and she talks about the Lovers as, they both have to choose each other. And so if this Ten of Swords is the end of what has been, what felt like a match, a true love connection where you chose each other, this tells me that it's happening because somebody didn't choose the other. That's very painful. There's pain here, Libra. I'm not going to deny it. You are working through some pain beneath your surface here. And we have, again, the Knave of Wands. Okay. Hidden influence. So I think sometimes the deck gives me the same card to correct if I've read it incorrectly. So this is like a passionate new beginning. It's young, a young person. Wands are willpower, sort of having the mojo to make a new start that comes from your desire, your willpower. And that's why you get strength underneath the other Page of Wands. This is your will, which is represented by the wand here. Slightly phallic reference, but grab hold your will. The Knave of Wands is grabbing hold. This one is the same card, Knave of Wands or Page of Wands. This one is just setting it free, just like giving it to the universe. And that to me is emphasized here by this hidden influence. So the story is that there's an ending coming and there's a beginning coming as well. And either you are the Empress, or I think this new person, this new beginning represented by this Knave, is the Empress. And I feel that as much as you're leaving a situation where somebody didn't choose the other, that you're also in a very, which is probably quite rare, have a chance to find your true match, your true counterpart in the Lovers. And I feel like this is the Empress, and that this is somebody else that you don't know about yet. And the cards are just saying trust. There's a heartbreak and an ending, but trust that the right person is ahead. Your Lovers are ahead, and that's what this person here in your near future is walking towards, the dawn of a new day. Yes, and if you're at all queer, there's plenty to say, go for this queer love. Like if you were married in a heterosexual relationship or commitment, and you have it's just a very specific message for somebody. I know I'm gathering most of you are not queer. Otherwise I'd have a huge following. Just kidding. Okay, future. I'm sassy. You have some sassy energy. There's another young, new Knave of Pentacles. He has a very 3D new beginning. And it's very precious to him. He's just really, it's his heart. It's his body. We're hers, theirs. It's their heart, their body, the gift that they are. That's what I feel like you're walking towards. It doesn't necessarily have to be anybody else who's this Empress. It could be you who's the Empress. There is some momentum from stagnation. The Chariot could be Cancer. And the Nine of Wands. This is you. You're tired. I mean, going through this, whatever this heartbreak is, this change. But the Nine of Wands is you have been working really hard, struggling, exerting your will. You've suffered and you're tired. You're tired after your Chariot ride. So Libra, I see you in the process of going through what appears to be a relationship ending, and it's hard, but there's something really beautiful and unknown and liberating to embrace ahead. And in the near future, that, you know, you're not totally free of that pain, but there's definitely some momentum. There's self-love, knowing the gift that you are and honoring that here. And yes, there is a Ten of Swords, that grieving process as you leave one thing to begin another. And with that can come some weariness from that. It's a very clear reading. That's basically the point of this reading. The cards want you to feel normalized here in your process. Underlying in the Light Seers is a Ten of Pentacles. It's a possibility of a complete, abundant, secure life. So your security is underlying this, so that can be that's quite nice. And then on the other deck, you might be having a little bit of control coming up here. Very practical, security-based, Pentacle 3D need to know that as you go through what appears to be a lot of thinking and painful emotions, a leave taking, that you have practical concerns, work kind of practical home finances concerns. But this card tells me that you have plenty and you're going to be okay. But you're very, very early in this process, so we can't see the other side of it. You're assured that what you're feeling is normal and that this is a normal way to feel. This is normal. This choice, this is a difficult decision and it's hard to let go. It feels like you can't leave. And it's taking all of your strength to bag it and walk on to the next thing. And that's normal. Yeah, that's a simple message. I wish you the best, Libra. I'll see you next time.